something that they could not abide, because both the NWO and the Saudis and Bin Ladens are feudalists. This is what it's all about: feudalism, the belief that one set of people own another, which is slavery. Now, this brings me on to economics. Why do I not believe in the gold standard anymore? I used to be quite pro a gold standard, but if the NWO get their way, then a few gold market sector speculators will be able to control the economy, because they will be able to speculate on gold, and this will lead to a control and a hierarchy of money. You may have gold coins, but many people will never see a gold coin because they will be stuck in brackets of economic service. They will be stuck on half pennies, seeing half pennies, on dimes, on silver dollars, etc. It's a hierarchy of money. I am for an equal money system, with some backing of gold and silver and platinum, and an index of goods and services, including food and fuel, so you get a proper rate of inflation, a real rate of inflation, and this is under a central bank, a central democratically accountable bank. It does not mean that the central bankers would be politicians. It means that they're responsible and to the politicians themselves. Now, there's much debate about, because of central bank corruption in the Federal Reserve, about their link to 9/11, and this must be refuted as well, because although the two topics are linked through the petrodollar system and American nationalism through economics, the Fed is a very nationalistic organisation. You know, it is very pro-Israel, it is very pro-American in its actions, and that is something that the Alex Jones has latched onto, to create this fraud of central banks being behind Al Qaeda and using them against America, which is not the case. Al Qaeda and the Saudis are much more powerful than the Federal Reserve, because as Minoon99 said, it's not about central banks, it's about oil, because the supply of oil can affect the dollar, and the dollar can affect the supply of oil. There's a battle going on between the two. As the Saudis do one thing, the Fed will do another. So there is a symbiosis, but it's a violent symbiosis. They're both trying to outdo each other. They're both trying to keep control of the oil supply. It's all about oil. You know, the families who grew up to have power over the oil supply rule the world in some sense. The Saudis and Bin Ladens control much of the oil supply. Exxon and Halliburton would like to control the oil supply, the NWO as they call themselves, but they do not have the power to do it. They must use methods by getting control of American assets. Now, much of this battle has been waged behind the scenes, where they've used boxing, knives and poison. Many of the people killed in the insurgency in Iraq simply disappeared because of those methods. But now both sides, the NWO, are radicalising lone wolf Freemasons and ultra-conservatives to do bombings in Norway and Oslo, and at Utøya killing 76 people. Al-Qaeda has flown planes into buildings. So we need an equally ferocious campaign by the EU and United States against both organisations, the jihadists and the New World Order, the Exxon and Halliburton. I'd like to see Exxon and Halliburton banned as companies and shut down. Whether this will ever happen or not, I'm not sure. I'm sure those companies will try and fight to the death to stop that happening. But it must happen. Just as the Saudis and Bin Laden are the figureheads of corporate companies that must be shut down through the oil and construction sectors. the different rival elites within each sector are all fighting each other for dominance of the globe. So there is an element of globalism going on, and which I would be against, because I'm against a single world currency and a single world government. I'm against that. I'm against extreme nationalism where the United States invades the world, which Exxon and Halliburton would like to happen. I'm against extreme feudalism where the Saudis and Binladens want to dominate the world. And so where does this leave us? The middle road between extreme nationalism and extreme globalism is the EU and United States governments, with the EU believing in social democracy and the United States believing in American capitalism. And the last point in this video should go in memory of the 9/11 victims and the victims of Norway, at Oslo and Utøya. Let's hope we do not see any more bombings by the New World Order or by Al Qaeda. And let's hope that they both destroy each other and save many American and European lives in blood and treasure. Thank you for listening.